There's a story about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so Dale's birthday was always around Martinsville, the April race. I felt like I owed him a payback for something. I don't know what. But
A Roman candle in the back. I don't know, something.
yeah, there's something. And I got a hold of one of those singing telegram places in Greensboro, and I said, what do you have on your menu there? And I want to embarrass somebody a little. I didn't tell them who or what, but I want to embarrass somebody a little bit, and I don't particularly want somebody that's real attractive even to make it more embarrassing. The guy said, I got just the thing for you. He said, I got this lady who does a Wonder Woman singing telegram. She dresses up in a red and blue costume with a red cape. And I said, perfect. I said, here's the deal. So we had made up a reason why he had to be at the hauler like an hour before the race. And you could hear, I knew when the gal was coming, and I told him, I said, don't get her there till about an hour before the race starts so that the grandstands on the front stretch are full of race fans.
Wow.
And here she comes. They walked her right up pit road. And you remember, well, it's probably still the same in Martinsville. Pit road is really close to the grandstand.
Smack in front of them, yes.
And she's got this gigantic array of balloons and a big sash, happy birthday, Dale, and the fans are going ape. And so she gets up there. We had a bunch of the camera guys tipped off. And so she sings to him and does a couple of things and puts the sash on him. And, you know, he was pretty good sport about it. He knew who had done it. But Teresa was mad.
No. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I got a pretty good butt chewing from her about how unprofessional it was and whatnot. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. And then I'm thinking, yeah, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
And so the last thing about that is Dale wanders off, and then everybody – and Dick Gazaway, who was the sheriff at that time, he ran everything for NASCAR. He was the boss. He came over there and, what the hell? We don't do that. And I'm like, man, I hear you. I don't know what happened. I don't know where that came.
Where did she come from?
I said, Wrangler is so embarrassed. We would never do it. But,
I've got all kinds of pictures.
yes.
Matthew's showing us the picture. That is so cool.
That was interesting because Dale didn't really like Willie in the beginning. He was
What? Really?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I shouldn't say he didn't like him because he never did say that, but he was a little standoffish. And of course, Richard's right in there like, hey, Willie.
What do you think? Was it because Willie offered him a joint?
Well, that did happen.
Yes.
That did happen. I mean, anybody that was ever around Willie, that probably
got offered a joint. Probably.
I saw Willie offer Ted Turner one once, and never saw Ted again. So,
oh man,
we jump on the plane, and Collier flies us to Kansas City, and we land, and we're like way early, and the dealer had met us and picked us up. And Dale says, man, I'm hungry. Can we get something to eat? And he's like, yeah. He said, I know a great steakhouse. I know the guy that owns it. I'll call him. So we get over there. It's like 4:00 and nobody's there, but cook's there. They're cooking our steaks as we arrive. We get in, a couple cold beers. There's probably 4 or 5 of us in the group, a couple dealer guys, and Collier, this Mike, his pilot, and I can't remember who was flying second seat, but anyway, we're all there and we're having beers, and they bring out this big tray of jalapeno poppers stuffed with cream cheese and some kind of mint jelly or something. I mean, they tasted like candy. They were like wow, these are awesome. And Dale's hitting them pretty hard and, enjoying his beer, and he's talking to the dealer, and, he was just really laid back and everything was great. So we have dinner and we head over to the next appearance is going to be at a mall. And we get about halfway down the hall and he's like, Brillo. And my nickname was Brillo in those days. And he's like, Brillo. And I'm turning around and he's like, come here. And I go back there and he's trying to talk to me without talking to anybody else. And he's like, I need to find a bathroom. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay. Well, and then he says, now. And he heavy emphasis on now, and I'm like, whoa, really? And he said, the poppers are working. And now I was like, oh, okay. And Dale, we get there and Dale says, you better clear everybody out. And I'm like, yeah, so we go in there and we're like, we need all you folks to leave for a minute. We have no authority to do anything, but we need to let everybody out of the restroom.
We need everybody to clear.
Yeah. And quickly, we need you to go. Well, so on their way out, they see who's standing out there waiting to come in. And of course, they know who he is. And so, we got everybody out. He goes in, he takes care of the popper issue.
Okay, here comes Alan. No more cursing.
He's a poopy.
What you got there, Alan? What's up, sweet pie?
See her.
Okay. Come here. Can you sit in my seat? Say hey to Mike.
Oh, hey, Isla.
Don't eat it. Talk into it. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, what I had? Take this one. You can talk into it. Hello. You want to push the buttons?
Hey, Isla.
Is that?
Hello.
Stop that. Make it okay.
He's muting you. I love it.
Yep. Sing. Go ahead and sing into it.
Twinkle.
Let's sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. How I wonder what you are.
Up above the world so
So high.
like
Isla.
a diamond in
In-
the sky.
Sing it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
I wonder
What?
to heart.
Hey!
Good job.
Nice job.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
You did it.
We
You
did
did
it.
it! Yay!
Hurry up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep doing this. Keep more. We need more.
Yeah, man.
What is it?
Don't do that, Isla. Don't touch the buttons. Don't touch the buttons, Isla. Ooh. Okay, I got it. Let's go back. Let's get down.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here comes the meltdown.
Oh no!
Meltdown.
Meltdown. Okay,
No, no.
okay, you can come back.
Yeah, let her back. We finish out the show with her. Let her finish.
Sure.
out.
All right, she's back.
Yeah, let her
She's
finish out
back.
the show. Yeah, she's back.
She's back.
Okay. Isla, don't draw on your hand. You're gonna get us in trouble. Oh.
Power two.
Now this is going to be awesome to see if Dale can actually do it with her on this.
I can do this.
Ready to get down.
You ready to get down? That'd be great.
She let you off the hook.
Are you back?
Isla's back. I need the pen, honey. You can't have that. You're gonna get in trouble. You come back up.
This is the realities of working at home. It's awesome.
I love it. This is my favorite. I just want to say, we'll just watch
Best
this.
part.
Are you coming back up here? Are you coming back up here?
Ready to get down.
Ready to get down?
You back.
Bye-bye.
How do you back?
Isla's back.
I was back.
Here, hold on.
that's
Let me put this
adorable.
right here so you can climb up here. You ready? In my hand?
Reading.
I'll read this, okay? No, Isla. Honey, you disabled my iPad. Thank you. No. Disabled.
Well, that'll take down the screen time.
All right, everybody. It's the last call. Time to wrap up this show. I want to thank Isla for being a part of it here. She's still over here messing around. You want to get down? Do you want to get down? Okay. Here.
We were not rule breakers. We were rule makers.
Okay.
Junior had a roller cam. They were not legal. But he had figured out a way to take a flat tappet and put a ball in the bottom of that flat tappet and turned it into a roller cam. And so all these things were okay until I came along. When I came along, I said, hey, can't do that anymore. We had a spacer, just really beautiful piece of work. I don't know who did it. Tapered spacer. No, can't run that anymore. Got to put that away. Everything that had made them special, different, creative, innovative, one by one they took away.
Yeah.
Because of you, or
Because of me. Look, I had a tough time. And I did it, I did it to myself. I was a smart ass.
you brought heat.
And so when they said, you can't do that, I said, why not? Or when they said, well, that's the rule. Well, that's a dumb rule. I'll never forget, I called Bill France one day. I said, Bill, it's some rule change they had made. I said, Bill, I'd like to know who the dumbass is that made that rule. He said, you're talking to him. So anyway, I learned the hard way. I'm a life
called
experience.
you Jaws for a reason.
Yeah.
It wasn't because you were chewing up the competition.
No.
Cale Yarborough gave you that nickname because of your interviews.
Oh, yeah. They make rules for everybody. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times those rules don't necessarily fit what you're doing or your situation. But they try to make rules that fits the entire field, not just one little guy.
Yeah.
Not one guy.
One of the things that I heard that Junior and his guys were doing in the do car was lead shot in the frame rail.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
Yeah.
Well, and look. Well, and here was the deal. And everything.
But the lead shot had to go somewhere.
Yeah, they would create situation for they never thought about unintended consequences. So the car, let's just say the car had to weigh 3,700 pounds when it went through tech. So you made sure your car weighed 3,700 pounds when it went through tech. They wouldn't weigh them after the race. I was at Martinsville. I said, they're going through this. I said, hey, ever think about weighing these cars after the race? And Bill Gasaway was the inspector. He said, boy, let me tell you something. When that car goes on the line, it's legal. That's all I care about.
Why would you plant that idea into their head to weigh the cars after the race, being that you were
Well, if they did,
the beneficiary?
if they weighed everybody, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I got
the
you.
top 5 or whatever, but they wouldn't weigh anybody. And we always knew. We had the lead shot in the frame rail. That's just what we did. If they didn't have scales like they got today. They had grain scales. So you had 4 of them. And they had a place where you drove the car up on, they weigh all 4 wheels and then push you off. So if they put those scales in the truck, we knew they weren't going to weigh the cars when the race was over with because they done loaded up ready to hit the road for the next race. So that was an invitation to Be creative.
Empty the car out.
Be creative.
So interesting. I want to, when I was working.
Where
with,
did all the lead shot go? Could you see
Oh,
it?
I'll never forget. So one.
It's still
At a
out.
place like Martinsville or
Oh
a
yeah,
short
no. Let me
track.
tell you. No, you love this. So Dick Beatty, he liked to walk the racetracks every day because that was his exercise. So I'm walking the racetrack at Martinsville with him one day just for fun. We're walking around the track. He said, DW, it's something I don't understand. Every week I walk these damn racetracks. I see all these little BBs laying everywhere. He said, I have not figured out where in the hell they come from. So you got, I ain't got a clue, Dick. I don't know. Gosh, that's weird. Wow. Need to look into that.
How long would y'all run that until like?
Yeah, when does the lead shot come out?
Yeah.
Lap 1?
Well, you had to be careful. You had to be. Here's look. Okay, so we dropped a little lead every now and then, but everybody did.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to Martinsville, just Martinsville sticks out in my mind. Wayne Thornberry, he worked for Richard. They would take a wagon down to Richard's car. They would take the car cover off of it. They would change out the radio and the helmet and everything else, and that wagon would come back down through there, and he could barely pull it. It was so loaded up with lead and everything else. And so the tires would be, squished down. And so it wasn't like you're the only guy that was smart enough to do it. I mean, there was other ways of heavy helmets, heavy radios, heavy whatever.
Yeah.
But this is pretty cool. So you have a jack stop in the frame rail where you jack the car up. So that's where we let the lead shot out at. And so I had a little wrench, this little T-handle. I'd undo that. I'd back that center of that jack stop out. All the lead shot would go out that hole.
You were the one that
He had to engage the.
you were the one.
In the
Yeah.
car?
You're like the wizard behind the curtain,
Yeah,
sitting
but
there at the controls of the lead shot.
We didn't do it every week. We just did it every now and then. But anyway, so we're at Bristol, and it was under caution. I didn't do it right. So under caution, I backed that screw out, and all of a sudden, all that I guess that lead had gotten wet or something, and it didn't come out.
Oh.
And so I didn't know if it didn't come out or not. I just did what I was supposed to. So we're going in the race, and all of a sudden the damn lid all comes out at one time, and I mean I'm in third turn. I'm about to spin out, and I finally catch it, and I just shoot down pit road. Well, Dave Marcus was on pit road, so I come down pit road out of control, and they thought Dave Marcus was the one that was dropping the shot. So they're wearing his car out, trying to figure out where it came from. They ain't gonna find it. So they're looking at all the cars. They're gonna look at. I won the race. They look at the car. They take the jack. So here's the jack stop. So they put the jack and they jack the car up. So the jack is sitting
on
the hole.
Yeah, on the trap door.
And they could look for a day. They could look forever. They're never going to find it. The jack has got the hole covered.
They covered the hole. That's awesome. Shredded beef jerky.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Shredded beef jerky.
What?
That's kind of gross.
Like, is it like a
I'm
chew?
sorry, I can't.
I don't know why that you guys don't know about this.
Oh, well, I love beef jerky, so I want to know about it.
I mean, have you never been in any general store in the country? They sell
Yeah,
this
I
everywhere.
was the other day.
They sell this everywhere.
Okay,
No,
so
I've never
what's
seen it.
you?
Shredded beef jerky.
Why do you have it? Was this a gift or did you
So-
bring it?
I like
I damn love beef.
there's a couple things that that remind me of my childhood. Little cans of shredded beef jerky.
So this has been a thing?
Oh yeah, it's been around a long time. Gator gum. Remember Gator gum? It was like Gatorade chewing gum. Oh, Gator gum. It was so tart. Anyhow, I saw this. I saw this come across my Amazon, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some of this. They had like a 32 units for such and such price, buying in bulk.
That is a lot of
And
beef
so,
jerky.
like one of these is one bite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, like you dump all this in your mouth and you're good to go.
Do you chew it or just
It's
like
shredded.
dip it like a dip?
You eat it like you would eat shredded
Tobacco?
chicken.
Yeah. In other words, no, you don't dip it.
Oh, I'm sitting there looking at it like
You
it's
don't
a
put it in
tobacco
like a
can.
patch.
It is not. It is a
Right.
tobacco can.
So is it like a pouch? Like you
No,
put beef jerky
it's
in your mouth?
shredded beef jerky, like shredded chicken,
So you
like
just
any
put
kind
it
of
and
shredded
chew it.
meat. You just eat
you
it.
just
Then
eat
why
it.
would you want it shredded?
Is it more moist?
Nope.
It's still dry.
Moist.
She said
Wow,
that
I'm
word. I
surprised
can't
that you
believe
said
that.
Most women won't say that word.
No. Anyway,
They hate it, right? Casey Boat won't say it.
I told Amy.
It's fine.
She laughed, or she did not laugh. I said, "This is like jerky, but it's how sometimes it's, you chew jerky and it gets into your teeth because you got to chew it hard,
Right. Yeah.
aggressively.
You got to floss afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is already chewed.
So there's your answer. There's your answer. You don't have to floss.
This is already chewed. This is already chewed, and you just put it in your mouth and you enjoy the flavor and the
I'm out.
taste, and then you swallow it.
I'm out.
oh, can you show me what it looks like? Because I'm like really like seriously. I can't even imagine this.
I love it. I eat it.
Freaking gross, man.
It
So-
grosses
so-
most everybody out.
Yeah.
So you
'cause I
just
love
carry this in your
regular beef
pocket.
jerky.
Oh, God.
The fact that
Take a look at this.
Is this like freaking Beanie Weenies?
No, that looks like cat food. Are you
No,
kidding
it looks
me?
like spam.
That looks gross.
It's
Oh.
very dry.
Ew,
Yeah.
that's
And
disgusting.
you've eaten that?
Oh yeah.
Is that
Oh look, I
stuff?
spilt some. It's kind of like a very fine sawdust.
Do you sit there and pack it like a like a dip can?
Yes.
Yeah.
He wears it in his back
packs
pocket.
it.
Hey, Dale's sitting there with his tobacco again. Look at him. He's going to the rodeo. Meanwhile, it's just beef jerky.
Shredded beef jerky. So good.
You are the most
Hey,
random freaking
Do
human
you
being
carry
I've
it
ever
in your
met.
back pocket?
No.
You don't.
I
So
was
your
walking-
jeans don't have that.
The
You know,
ring.
I was
ring.
walking in, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit this on the table because I don't want to sit on it.
I gotcha.
So no,
Yeah.
So you did have it in your back pocket when
Yeah.
you walked
He
in.
brought it.
I didn't. I said I grabbed it out of my truck and walked in here, and I went, I'm not putting this in my pocket because I don't want to sit on it.
Oh, so I imagine you now driving with beef
I have
jerky
to be very like
in your truck now.
specific with these guys. They want to put this in my back pocket, but it's never been.
But
there.
it's in your console.
Never been there, man.
So what was Amy's reaction? I mean, like you said she didn't laugh. She rolled her
She
eyes.
hates
She
it.
thought it was ridiculous.
Well, she believes she doesn't like me. How do I say this? She believes that when I eat jerky, I get gas.
oh my.
I mean, that's kind of a fact.
Well,
Not
and
you,
so
everywhere.
when I present jerky in the house, she goes,
Oh, no.
no,
yeah.
you're a stink. You're
It's
a
coming.
fart." Yep.
So that's why it's in your truck.
Yeah.
It stays in his truck.
That's the ultimate security measure.
Yeah.
Somebody's about to break into that truck, and they're like, "Oh, I'm out."
There you go.
Yeah.
And
If
now
I
I know.
eat anything that Amy doesn't like, this is Amy's. This is like a defense mechanism for Amy. So if she does, if I bring home jerky, right, she goes, "Ooh, jerky! Why you want to eat that? Ooh, it's all shredded, gross." Like you, right? Your
I'm
same
sorry, it
reaction.
is. Ugh.
2 hours later, I fart. It's that jerky. No, it's that jerky that did that. If she doesn't like something,
It's going to be the reason for
it's
whatever.
going to be the reason
Yeah.
for the farts.
Yeah. A day later, a week later. Yep,
Yes.
There's that jerky coming up. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's them ugly shoes you're wearing.
yeah.
It's that damn stupid shirt you're wearing.
Yeah. It's the jerky. There
oh
you go.
my goodness.
All right. Well, leave him on that note.
All right.
That'll do it.
Signing off.
Back up and tell me about you guys. I mean, I know where you met, but where did you guys become friends? And was that in high school?
Yeah, I mean, in high school, we sat beside each other in drafting class, and it was kind of funny because he would sit there and draw race car pictures, and then he'd put my name above the door. And
Oh my gosh!
and
It shocks me that you weren't in the in crowd. I mean, this is now, but it's all coming
I'd
together.
draw
now.
cars racing, and it'd be me and Rodney. We were going to be cup racers together.
Got it. So he's basically
Yeah.
doing paint schemes for the 1st time.
I'm trying to bring that to reality.
Hey, as you would.
Did you call Matthew? Did you call him for these notes?
Maybe.
So
Okay,
what's the egging? I don't remember that.
oh God, you don't remember that?
No.
So we hopped in your little S10 truck one night, and you wanted to go to Kannapolis, and you had a friend that lived in Kannapolis over near your grandma somewhere. I
Walter
don't remember.
Monroe.
Yeah. So you said we're gonna go over there for a little while, and we show up at your grandma's house. You wanted to stop at your grandma's house, and you knocked on the door, and nobody's there, and you said, "Oh, come on, I know how to get in." Well, we went through the back window of your grandma's house, and we're sitting on the couch when she walks in the door. I scared her to death, but we sat over there at your grandma's for a little while, and I got to meet her and all that, and then we went and picked up Walter. And then we went cruising in the Concord Mall parking lot, going round and round and round. So there was these two girls walking down the sidewalk at the Concord Mall, and of course we were like, trying to talk to them and all this and that. Well, somehow we got both of them in this little S10 truck, and there wasn't a whole lot of room in the S10 truck. So there were 3 guys and 2 girls in the S10 truck.
It's a single cab S10 pickup truck.
I got it.
So this Walter guy, he's got somebody, one sitting on his lap, one sitting on my lap. So we drive around for a little while, and finally we realized that this wasn't going nowhere, and we pull back in the mall, and we pull up the sidewalk. Well, this one girl gets out, and then I get out to try to help the rest of the party get out of the truck, I guess you could say. So this other girl gets out. Well, about that time, you start taking off like you're going to leave me, and the door's hanging wide open. And I'm kind of running beside the truck and hop in. And it wasn't like 30 seconds later, blue lights pull up behind us. Oh. and said, the guy's like, what were y'all doing? And he said, well, we were just dropping them off. And he said, no, you weren't. You had the door hanging open trying to get them in your truck. He had no clue what had really happened. But he was trying to blame us on something that really didn't happen.
Do you remember none of this?
None of this.
What kind of life of crime do you live? It's like he remembers none of this.
And he wanted your license and registration or something like that. And you handed him your license, and he said, "Oh, y'all go ahead." Hand it right back to you.
Oh, come on.
It is K-Town.
Wow.
But we ended up, after that, we went to a grocery store.
Oh, no.
And we all split up. The 3 of us. And I got like 2 cartons of eggs, and you got 2 cartons of eggs, and the other boy got 2 cartons of eggs, and we all went to 3 different cash registers. And then this lady, she said, "I'm just going to tell you right now, I know what's going on here, and if there's eggs on my car, I can remember your face." So we rode around, and we didn't throw any eggs in anybody's cars, but we threw them at every stop sign and speed limit sign that we could come across going down the road. But we didn't tear up anything.
Yeah. Golly.
I cannot believe you don't remember any of this.
My cheeks are hurting so bad.
We need Rodney just to come over here and tell us everything else that Dale Jr. doesn't remember about his life.
Oh, my God.
That is something.
What is the chasing deer on Dad's land?
God.
So we were over there beating them doors out on that street stop, and I had never been over there, and I was trying to look through the little window in the bush shop at one point, and you're like, don't look over there. And so if my dad sees you, he's gonna get pissed. And no, it wasn't your dad. You said if somebody else saw me, they'd be pissed. And anyway, we beat the doors out for a while, and everybody had left. It was in the afternoon, and everybody had left the shop, and you said, you want to ride back through there and see the land? And I said, yeah. And so we this is also in the little S10. So we started that big circle back through the land, back through the property, and we were coming back, and about halfway back, there was deer everywhere. And you're like, this is gonna be good here. And I said, what? And he said, I'm gonna get out, and you slide over here and put it in drive, and when I tell you to go, you haul ass. So you got out of the truck, and you started walking up into the field a little bit, and all of a sudden you said, go, and I floored it. Well, I floored it. Well, next thing I know, the deer are running straight at me and like jumping over the hood of this S10. And I slammed on brakes. And stopped, and you're like, that was cool as hell, wasn't it? I was like,
my God, that'll get you shot over there from what I heard. I mean, like that. Is that the Is that the people? Is that the deer you want to be messing with? Not from what
Daddy
I
would
heard.
have really been pissed off.
Oh yeah, he would have.
Oh man, he would have shot both of us.
Oh no.
Here's Dale Jr. on a pheasant hunt.
Oh wow, look at this.
And this
guys
is
are-
the most epic hairdo I've ever seen in my life.
Now I've seen some mullets in my time. I
That's
mean,
a
this
good
is
one.
close to Billy Ray Cyrus right here.
That's better than Billy Ray Cyrus.
I mean, this is right here. And talk about a rack. I'm telling you what, this is a big one. Now this is the one you.
What
I'm
car
sure.
is that?
What car is
Yeah.
it?
That.
Take a look.
Oh, it's a Lumina. Sorry, never mind.
This is back in the day.
Yeah. So that deer, where do we shoot? Is that the one
That's
in
at
South,
Franco Hills.
South Carolina?
Yeah. I mean, that was good, man.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
You shot that deer by yourself.
Just posing with the head. We done detached it.
Yeah.
That's how far we go back.
Let's
That's
see
good.
the. All right. So
Here you go. Look at this.
yeah. So that's Remington hunt.
That's
Yep.
right.
So we had a Remington deal. This dad on the left, Remington rep on the right.
Phil Murdoch.
Phil
Yep.
Murdoch.
That's,
That's
who that
right.
is. Yep.
And what was the Primlin?
Yeah, Primlin. The
Primlin.
funniest thing that happened that day is we went up there to go on a pheasant hunt, and Big E thought it would be appropriate, and which was very wise, to separate us two so we didn't get in trouble. We've been known for getting in trouble.
I
so-
am so pissed off because we went to two different fields.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, Dad was like, this is an appearance. Like you're
Okay,
going, you're
with the Remington
going
people.
on this hunt.
Yeah.
Get your ass up and be ready.
Early in the morning.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, can Hank go? I'd love it if this would be fun for me. If Hank goes, I wasn't into this. I
Right.
didn't like to hunt. And I certainly wasn't getting up in the morning and going, hunting. But he's like, yeah, he can go. That'd be great. And we get there and they're like, all right, Hank, you're going with them. Junior, you're going with them. And I'm like, wait a minute.
That's not the deal.
So
And he got to go with Dad.
I was with
I wanted to hang out with Dad and Hank Jr. And their two asses are going to a different field.
so
I got to hang around these Remington guys.
so we get up on this hill and we meet Dale Jr. and them, and Dale Jr.'s at the bottom of the hill, and we're kind of standing up a hill. And the rule is you don't ever shoot around another person. I mean,
Right.
obviously for safety reasons. And this bird, for whatever, we're sitting there talking, this bird jumps up and he flies right in between us, and Big E goes, no, like this, and he gets about 10 feet over his head. Dale Jr. goes, pow, and smokes him. And all these feathers are coming down over Big E, and he's about to get mad. He goes, Dale Jr. goes, yes, I finally got one. And I could not stop laughing, which got me in trouble. But I didn't even do anything wrong. I was laughing.
Oh man, that is hysterical. Don't shoot it. Kaboom! Yeah.
He's out there celebrating. It's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness, that is hysterical.
The idea of the feathers falling around Dad as he's turning beet red
Oh, yeah.
in anger.
Oh man,
ready
that
to
is
choke us
hysterical. So you guys hunted. I mean, so like, I would assume that.
Oh, there's an.
Go ahead.
I just want this podcast be damned. I just want to tell you this. We used to go hunting at a place that he owned in South Carolina. And so you've seen Stroker Ace, the movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy that made the jewelry out of bird
Yeah.
in the movie?
Yeah.
He's real, and he really made bird
And that's where
jewelry.
you killed that deer
and
on
that's-
his property.
On his property, I killed that deer. And Hank, so I'm going hunting with Hank. What year is this? I drove up there in my truck.
89, 90.
I drove to your property in my truck. So, yeah. So,
Yeah. The same
Still
one
in
you
high
flipped
school.
end over end
yes.
and had me come see it because you thought it was so awesome.
Hell
I
yeah.
remember that.
Wow.
So I get there and he's like, "Hey, I got this guy. He wants to give you some jewelry." And I'm like, "I hate jewelry, but yeah, whatever." He's like, "No," and he's giggling, and I'm thinking this is some kind of joke. I'm gonna, Hank Jr.'s got some strange sense of humor, and I'm just gonna have to play along with this because I'm his guest on his hunting land, and he's damn bound and determined for me to meet this guy. Well, it ain't no joke. It turns out the guy really does make jewelry out of bird and it's the guy from
Stroker Ace.
Stroker Ace.
Yeah.
That,
I'm like, "Hank Jr., do you know who this is?"
I
He's
mean-
like, "Yeah." I'm like, well, damn, why didn't you just say that?
Right.
I've been over there. I've been first out the door of the truck. Speaking of girlfriends,
Uh-oh, speaking of girlfriends, this is going to be good.
Mark, I think this came from Reno. Mark says that your favorite quote was, I spend my money on racing, drinking, and chasing women. The other half I waste.
Yeah, just throw the rest of it away.
That sounds like something you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Hey, on that note, if we were to walk into Schooners, okay?
Yeah.
And we see a plaque on the wall, and it says Finch's Legions.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, but
Well, if it was there, and it had, what would we be looking at? What is this Finch's Legions plaque?
I think it was boobs.
There was a plaque?
Yeah.
I was trying to explain
Yeah,
this to
yeah.
my wife, Amy,
Yeah.
the
There
other
was
night.
quite a few of them or whatever, but
Well, wait.
you could get them for about a set of tires was about what it was going for back then.
So you could get. So I said, Amy, I got James Finch coming on the show, and I think he's bought probably maybe a couple hundred sets of boobs. And she goes,
hundred?
Well, I don't think it's that many.
Well, with the blowouts and all, it's pretty close.
Really?
With the blowout.
How many?
So keep going.
How
Wait,
many
wait.
do you think you've bought?
I think it was somewhere around 78.
My gosh. Okay.
Well, this plaque apparently had push pins in it, right?
Yeah.
It had push pins, and the push pins represented
One
a pair.
a pair.
Yeah. Now that's a great establishment, but Schooners is still there, by
Oh,
the way,
yes,
right?
yes.
But you're saying the plaque's gone.
Yeah.
Did they run out of room?
No, I give up.
Oh, you gave up.
Yeah.
Well,
But how many sets of Goodyears do you think I bought?
Clint Boyer dared me that I wouldn't ask that question. You know, Darlington is the throwback weekend. Everybody comes with a great plan, and Spire's no different. So we've got a car sitting here behind us. You're going to run. Talk to us about this paint scheme.
You know, there's a reason that we're here with you today, man. It is one of your dad's old schemes. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now that the fact that I'm going to get to drive a paint scheme. He only drove it once, and it was early on in his career, but it's one that a lot of people might have forgotten.
Are you ready for him to show you?
I guess.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Pull the cover
We
up.
have a new sponsor to the Cup Series.
We got a brand new sponsor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
what? Did he vote media too? Look at Matthew. Look at Matthew.
Oh, sorry.
Dad drove the car. I'm not being biased. This is so well done. Kenny, I think we need to talk about the week.
The week.
I figured it had to come up. But
Yeah.
the week was good. We didn't do anything
No, it was fine.
stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I'm honored that I've heard you say it was still one of the best weeks ever.
it was a rite of passage. So it was. So my dad's guys didn't talk to me much. So when you asked me to go on this trip, I'm like, this was extremely way out of character for me, for anybody in Dad's generation. And all I know is I'm going to get on a King Air to Lee Statesville Regional Airport, and I'm flying somewhere to meet up with Kenny Schrader, and I'm going to be with him for a week.
We started out in
I was
St.
15
Louis.
years old.
Is this 16?
16.
Yeah,
that's right, because I drove my truck.
You drove a truck up there.
And I got on the plane, and I'm reading the Bible, all right, in this King Air, flying to meet Kenny. A day or two before I got on this plane to leave, I had been reading the
little angel.
Bible.
And if I remember right, because I was
That's
already
important.
I was already yeah.
Knowing how we know this trip
We-
turned,
we,
yeah.
Did Dad come to you and say, take that damn boy with you somewhere? Or
No.
did you ask
No,
him? How did that?
we just talking, and I said we'll take Junior on a trip with us. We'll just go racing all week. And he just looked at me, and I said racing, and he knew, you know. And I also heard that
He knew what?
he knew what was going to happen, which nothing bad happened. Nothing happened that no one's going to jail for.
No. Where were we when we went to the Gentlemen's Club?
Well, we flew back from Belleville, Kansas, and we had to run to Topeka, where your daddy was coming in, and we were all going to race. Rick Hendrick was there, and we were all going to race Sunday.
So that's a Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Okay.
We flew back to Topeka.
I thought that was in the middle of the week for some reason.
No, Topeka was Saturday night. We didn't race Saturday night. We just went and watched Topeka. And Saturday night, you were
tuned up.
You were tuned up.
Yeah. So Saturday night, Schrader and them all organized a trip to the Gentlemen's Club.
Well, it was between the airport.
I mean, it was a stop.
It was on the way home. Yeah,
you wouldn't have gone
on the way home.
You wouldn't dare go out of your way to the Gentlemen's Club.
No, we had a van.
I mean,
we're in a van. We pull up, and Schrader is like all of them are sort of talking. I'm sitting there, and we're in this van pulling in, and a couple of people were like, "They ain't gonna let him in." Schrader's like, "Oh, they'll let him in." No, they're not gonna let him in. Ain't no way. So Schrader's like, "All right, we're gonna form a circle. Junior, you get in the middle. Just eyes forward. Don't say a word. We're just gonna go in. They're never even gonna see you."
It didn't work.
So we get to the door, and we tried to go on in, and the guy goes, "Hey, you can't come in." A little bit of conversation. Sorry, just can't let him in. So Schrader, I said, "Y'all go in. I'm going to go back out to the van." And another guy follows me. And he's like, he had hung out with us a little bit, but he hadn't been on the whole trip. So he's like, let's sit in the bed of this pickup truck next to the van. There's a truck next to the van. Me and him sit in the bed.
We don't know whose truck it is.
So me and him get the beer cooler. We sit in the bed of the pickup truck, and we're drinking beer, and we're just watching people come in and out of the parking lot. I'm sitting there talking to this guy, we're just having a great conversation. I watched a gun deal go down. What? So, yeah, I watched a guy selling guns at the trunk of his car. He's like an old '78 Ford Mercury or something, big old clunker wagon. And me and this guy are sitting in the bed of this pickup truck, and two guys are standing at the back of this Mercury with the trunk open, just talking and looking in there and talking and looking in there. I imagine it was guns. I don't know. I'm going to assume it was guns. Who knows what could have been in there. But anyways, we didn't say a word. We just sat there. It was amazing. We were sitting. Time goes by, right? An hour or two, whatever it was. I don't know how long it was.
I'm sure it wasn't near that long.
Well,
we wouldn't have been in there very long.
I don't know how long it was, but I wasn't worried. Finally, they all come barreling on out of there. Yeah, man, that was a great time. Everybody get back in the van, and we get in the van and drive off, right? And probably about 5 years ago, I was sitting in the lounge for the driver's meeting for the Daytona 500. Either Daytona, maybe it was a Busch race. I don't know exactly what it was. But I'm sitting I got there a little early. Nobody really filtered in yet. Carl Edwards is sitting there with his dad. And I sit down next to Carl. Carl waves me over. He's like, "Hey, come here." He's like, "You know my dad?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so, man. How you doing?" He goes, "Nah, you know him. He says y'all and him hung out." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, in the back of a pickup truck at the parking lot of a strip club in Topeka, Kansas." I was like, "That was you?" Carl Edwards' dad.
Yeah.
Back in 1991. What a small world.
Yeah, right. No doubt. So you're back there.
That to me is the best part of the whole trip.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I always thought you made it into the club.
No.
Was there another club?
Nope.
Well, you're leaving out part.
What?
We finally negotiated with the bouncer.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
Yeah. How could you forget?
There's a new best
All
part
right.
to this story.
Well, this is the better part.
This is the best part. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Pitch black, but they come out, right? Well, who comes out with them? All the girls that are in the club. Yeah. I mean, how many? There had to be 4 or 5.
Yeah, I remember it a little bit different, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in my mind today, as I'm remembering it.
All the strippers ever were out there
in
in
my
the
mind
parking
today,
lot.
as I'm remembering it, but in about 2 minutes, they're like, "Hey, you couldn't get in there, so we brought the party out here." And there's
It's getting
There's
more real now.
There's strippers standing on the hoods of the cars around.
Buying guns.
There's guys carrying AKs around. And there's firing them in the air.
We don't do that stuff anymore. No, we don't do that stuff anymore.
So they're all just dancing on the roofs of the cars are all around. It wasn't really like that, but that's how I imagine it in my mind.
imagine it was, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the strip club basically just emptied out into the parking lot for I don't know how long.
We didn't want you not to be included.
Wasn't that nice? Wasn't that nice of them?
That's a good friend. That's a good friend.
We were looking out at
I
you.
thought
I'm
that
sure
they
your
had-
dad
I
would
thought
agree.
that they were sitting in there just having a great time going, he's fine.
Right.
They were thinking
working
they
the
were
whole
worried, They were
time
working
to-
the whole time. Worried.
Right.
Working the
right.
whole time to
What's
get
it going
you
to
out.
take to get them off this stage and
Yeah.
out there to the parking lot? So we've got the TV going on. NASCAR America has come on. We've got the family here. Amy and Isla have joined us. Dale Jr.'s ready. Kelly's in. We've got everybody hovering around
LW
here.
is hiding in the back.
LW wants to be up here. Come on, LW.
Come
Let's
on.
talk about your tweeting activity. And so now it's just we've been told that 5:10 or so we're going to find out. It's just a few minutes.
Here comes.
Third and final member of the 2021 class of the NASCAR Hall of Fame, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be.
Yes! Yes!
Yes?
Yes! He's in!
Yes!
He's in! Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in the Hall of Fame, or will be in 2021. Oh, man. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So, wow. I can't imagine what this must feel like because, we're all sort of now just breathing again, and Leah's back there shaking. Dude, you're going into the hall. The hall.
I don't know, man. It's a big deal.
Oh. Amy's crying. Isla's just wanting more race cars, and that is the proper reaction. Are you relieved?
It's not really relieved. I'm just emotional. I was so honored to be on the list of guys that were on that list, just to be beside some of those names. And being 45 years old, I knew I had a long time to be able to wait if my name was ever to be called, that I was going to be fine with being patient and having to wait. But I live on affirmation. You know that.
Yeah.
Amy, you know that. And cheerleading and hey, you're doing a great job. And nothing says you're doing a great job better than that right there for when we raced for so many years and worked really hard and tried to do it the right way. And so it's great to have somebody pat you on the back, and that's just, that comes from the whole industry. There's so many people on the voting panel that you have respect for. I don't know everyone that's on it, but I do know some of those folks, and I think that they have that opinion of me means the world to me. It's a pretty special deal. It also, it's a win for a lot of other people. You, Mike.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of people have been with you through the years. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kelly for a second. Kelly, my goodness. Think about where we'd be without her. that ought to tell you, right?
Yep. And Amy, she
amazing.
It's hard to believe she was with me for half of my career.
Right.
And through some of the tougher parts.
Yeah.
To get, I didn't even know that we would get better and be able to come back and win a handful of races like we did, and to be able to support me and help me into the chapter of broadcasting, because I feel like that when you're the Hall of Fame, sort of a body of work, and when you look at guys like Harry Gant, there's a couple wins, but then you think of everything that Harry Gant did below that. It's like the iceberg and what's underneath the surface that you really can't see, or we sometimes forget. And I was hoping that my body of work, the the work we've done in the Xfinity Series, not only just the championships, but the people we've groomed into the sport or helped create a path of their own into the sport. And there's a lot there to it, you know what I'm saying, in the broadcasting and all that too. I know I'm just starting there, but I feel like I've had a good impact on that side of the sport as well to keep keep the sport growing and fans. And it's an emotional deal, man. But now, we get to go through that. Now we get to go through the experience of being nominated, being the process of crafting our speech.
Oh,
and,
man,
you
yeah.
know, just going to getting the jacket and
so exciting.
Standing up there with all those legends and all those heroes. And this is just such a great pat on the back, and I'm so thankful. And I will never, I don't know if it'll ever sink in, and so I won't ever take it for granted, the opportunity to be inducted in the Hall of Fame and the chance to actually have your name called. It's pretty special.
How we doing?
We got 8 minutes till the NBC FaceTime, so we got to get that. We probably got to get that set up right now.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yeah, good.
I'm so thankful that Amy was here for that. Oh, look at this guy.
What's going on?
Hey, Winston.
Congratulations, man. Very well deserved.
How you doing?
Pretty good there, Hall of Famer. How about you?
I'm feeling great now, man.
A lot of things during your years, but a Hall of Famer sounds pretty good. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mike. Hey.
There he is.
Rick.
Hey.
What you doing?
Watching you on TV just a minute ago, listening to you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
How about that?
I'm proud of you, man.
Hey, thank you for helping me accomplish my goals.
Well, you said you were going to make me popular. You did a pretty good job.
Did I make you more popular, you think?
You did.
Hey.
I was a lot more, buddy.
I love helping.
I just can't believe you're old enough to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not, Rick. That's the thing. I'm not. That's it. I know it, right?
It just seems like yesterday, man. I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Rick.